how to reprogram that subconscious mind to get what you want in life. Guys, I'm really excited about this video. Why? Because the subconscious mind is everything. It is everything, every single thing that you are doing right now. Most of the actions we take are governed by our subconscious mind. Meaning right now, I'm moving my hands, I'm sitting up straight, I'm moving, I'm blinking, all these things I'm not thinking consciously to do, and it is doing automatically, or sometimes I like to say auto-magically. And so if our actions determines our results, and if most of our actions are governed by our subconscious mind, the biggest problem is that people are trying to achieve results in their conscious mind. So they are consciously thinking, I want to achieve X, Y, Z, which becomes a problem. Because your conscious mind only contributes to a tiny, tiny bit of your actions and your results. Okay, to give you a very quick example of this before we dive deep. If you want to get from A to B, destination being B, okay, that place, the bigger you, the result that you want right now, and you get into a car and you drive to B, what happens is you arrive at B and then you've got there. And when you get there, I don't know if you ever had this experience, for those of you who are drivers out there, when you think, I can't remember passing that shop today, you know, how did I get here? Or some of you may have been driving along a highway and you may have been driving for, like, let's say half an hour or an hour, and then suddenly you're like, whoa, where was I? If you've ever had that moment before, then you are working in your subconscious mind in what we call flow state. And by the way, at flow state is where we work best. We can do anything and take all these actions at the same time and get to our destination and get the result we want in our subconscious. But the biggest problem is when we consciously try to act and we take actions consciously, we are not our best. Just to give you an example. When you're reversing a car, you think, don't hit the curb, don't hit the curb, don't hit the curb. And what happens? You hit the curb. That's when you are consciously thinking. So we function best. Now, those of you who are used to my videos, make sure to comment this below to instill the learning. Those of you who are new to the channel, make sure to comment below and it instills our learning. So we function best in our subconscious. Type that below so that we instill this learning and you log it into your subconscious mind that you know that you are most powerful in subconscious. So therefore, if you can reprogram and program that subconscious mind to do what you want it to do to achieve the results you want in life, then life gets easier, results get easier. And that's why today I kind of just like flow in life, in flow state. And I achieve so much and people think, how do you do it? It looks like you're never working. And I feel like I'm never working, but everything is kind of happening. And it's so powerful because our minds processes 11 million pieces of information every second, like now passing by and passing by again, passing by again. And in these seconds, only 40 pieces of information are conscious. So how do we get that 11 million to actually work with us? And this is what we're going to do, and we're going to dive deep into it in this video. But before we do so, show reel. Hit it!
People have today isn't that they're struggling, isn't that they can't get out of their shit. It's because the shit that they're in isn't big enough. And why I say that is because if that shit was big enough right now, if the people had a gun pointed to their head, they would actually get their ass moving. Always understand that emotions is what leads to motion. It's energy in motion. So if your emotional drive is not strong enough, you're not going to do anything to get out of it.
What's up guys, this is Eric Ho here, international speaker, entrepreneur and best-selling author. And in this video, I'm going to share with you how you can reprogram your subconscious mind so that you can start getting the results you want in life effortlessly. Like crazy. It's like, it is mental. When you start understanding how to do this, life just gets easier. Everything gets easier. I do business this way. I speak on stage all around the world this way. And everything is just so beautiful in flow state because I can flow in those moments and just enjoy enjoy every moment of it, have so much fun, and while the results are being achieved. And how do we understand this? Well, first of all, understand this. Everything that is in your subconscious mind, I want you to type this below, okay, to instill this learning. Everything in your subconscious mind was once in your conscious mind. So you can only plug and fill and download into the subconscious mind via the conscious mind. And how do you actually do it? Very, very simple. You keep practicing, you're consciously practicing something that you've never done before, or the thing you want to download, the thing you want to learn. You consciously practice. And I want to prepare you for this, by the way. When you consciously practice something, what it means is it is uncomfortable. Because when it becomes comfortable, it's already transferred into the subconscious mind and it's working on autopilot. And that's when you can access what we call flow state. Now, to give you an example of this, okay? So let's say, for example, the driving analogy I gave before. Now, those of you who know how to drive, you jump in the car, you drive from A to B, and you don't even look at the road, half of you, right? You're kind of just in your mind, you kind of think about your stuff, and by the time you know it, you got there and you can't even see the shops around you. And how do you operate? I don't know if you've thought about this before. You operate something so technical, a car, with all these different functions and looking at mirrors and signaling and all this stuff. And you're doing that subconsciously. How is that even possible? How can you not even know about it, but you're doing all of this? It's because that's the power of the subconscious. Now, we got to that destination. Now I'd like you to rewind. How did you manage to get yourself to be able to do all of that subconsciously? Rewind back to the beginning when you got your first driving lesson. I don't know if you guys remember your first driving lesson. I surely remember mine because I seen all my friends driving around and I was like, I want to get in the car and I want to drive to the shops. And what happens is I get into the car for the first time and then I sit there and I'm just like, okay, so what am I supposed to do? I turn the key, so scared at that time for the first time. Hear the engine roar, I'm like, oh dear, you know what's happening here? I thought I was going to just drive straight to the shop. But then what the instructor said, okay, this is the clutch. I'm like, the what? And then clutch down, biting point, accelerator. I'm like, what's going on? And then stall. And I'm like, this isn't very fun. I was expecting to get into the car, learn how to drive to the shops, you know, just like my friends do. And then it's like left hand, then it's signal, maneuver, check the mirrors, check this, check that, and everything. And if you're like me and you can't multitask, it becomes a hard task. So I'm doing all of this stuff and I'm like, what's going on? I'm not really enjoying it. After one whole lesson, I can just get myself from first gear to second gear, just rolling down the street, and I've finished. I'm like, what was that? I can't drive anywhere. And then what happens is your second lesson, maybe it's a tiny bit better. Your third lesson, maybe a tiny bit better. But it was a uncomfortable procedure. It was an uncomfortable process. And this is what you need to understand. The results that you want in life is most likely outside of your comfort zone. If it wasn't, you would have got the result already. So maybe there's certain skills, whether it's sales skills, whether it's communication skills, whether it's business skills, whether it's pitching for finance, whether it's even just like just speaking to loved ones, whatever it is that you want right now, whatever that goal is. There's certain things that you need to learn and practice, or it could be playing the guitar. You need to practice, and when you first practice it, it is uncomfortable. Then what do you do? Practice some more. Then what do you do? Practice some more. Practice, 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 practice. And then what happens? When you practice it so much, it takes what's in the conscious mind and logs it into the subconscious. By the time it gets to the subconscious, by the time you know it, you're not thinking, and your fingers are just moving along the piano, along the frets. Your hands, everything's just maneuvering the car. So in short, how do you reprogram the subconscious mind? Very simple. You keep consciously practicing the things that are uncomfortable and it will naturally get into there. But the real question is this: once you practice all of that, how do you access flow state? Because I don't know if you've ever experienced this before. When you want to, let's say you want to just flow, you want to just be in the moment. You're very familiar with something you do, whether it's piano, whether it's guitar. And sometimes you do very well, like you play the piece and you're in flow state and it's beautiful. Sometimes when people are watching, maybe, this usually happens, right? You get that pressure and you think, okay, I need to get it right, I need to get it right. Then you get it wrong. That's when you are in your mind and you are conscious. So how do you actually activate and switch on flow state in an instant? And I had to learn this because with speaking on stage in front of thousands of people every single week, what I found was sometimes I'll go up there and I'll rock it. Sometimes I'll go up there and I'll come off and I'll be like, what on earth just happened there? And what was the difference? One was subconscious flow state. One was consciously trying. So how do you make that switch? In this video, I really ran out of time. We hit the 10-minute mark. So if you guys want to know how to activate and how to actually switch it on, that flow state, on demand. If you want flow state on demand and you want to know how to do it, just type it in the comments box below. And if I get enough demand for it, then I'll create a separate video just to share with you how to actually access that flow state on demand so you can produce at your highest potential every single time. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video and if it's been of use to you at all, just a tiny bit, hit the thumbs up, right? Support the channel. Also, comment below. Let us know where you guys have tuned in from. I'm in Malaysia right now. We got a couple of days, then we're off to Hong Kong, and then after Hong Kong, we're off to China. So if you're in any of those places, most likely you're not from China, and the reason being is because you're probably locked out of YouTube and you can't access YouTube. But anyway, if you're anywhere in and around this part of Asia, let us know. It's always nice to know where you guys are from. And finally, if you guys are new to this channel, if you remember, if you're not already, hit that subscribe button and make sure to hit that bell that's next to it, the notifications button, because then you can be notified on a daily basis where I'm making daily videos now to hold you accountable to make 2018 your best year yet. But for now, guys, ciao.